But I was weak in constitution and I was afraid of many things. I was afraid of confrontation. I was afraid of water. I was afraid of heights. Name it, and there was a fear there. And as I grew up, I realized that I could not live with this fear inside me. I could not continue living with all these fears. So I decided to address my fears. So one day while we were doing our training, there were these 3 rat pickers who were passing by on the road above. And they watched me and kicking and punching and doing all kinds of combative stuff. And they stopped and they started ridiculing me and they started saying a lot of demeaning things to me. They passed some lewd remarks to me as well. I was just about 20 years old. And suddenly, one of those guys came and stood in front of me. I was looking down, so I moved to the left, he came in front of me. I moved to the right, again he stepped and stood in front of me. And at a certain time, there was nothing I could do, so I looked up. My heart was racing, I had fear in my eyes, but what I saw in his eyes, I did not like. The expression I saw on his face, I did not like. He had this expression as if, you are just a woman, what can you do? You can do nothing. And I saw this underestimation and this grin across his face, and I don't know what came over me, but I lifted my hand and I slapped him hard across the face. With the slap, he just moved back like that. He was enraged, so he came at me straight away, trying to headbutt my nose. They had this thing of just hitting their head into the nose. So I moved back, I lifted my knee up, I used my elbows, I hit him. Meanwhile, one of his accomplices opened up a knife and slashed it across me. I moved out, my t-shirt tore but not my skin. I held his hand, I threw him down. And very soon there were people who accumulated over there and I moved out from there. But that is the first time in my life when I felt I can control my situation, I can control my life. That I am not weak, I am not vulnerable. So that is probably the time when something inside me changed. And it changed forever. It's not that I became overconfident suddenly, but it's that subtle change that happened where I began to believe that I could move things. I will now talk about my other fears and how I dealt with them. So I also had this fear of water, and I decided that the only way I could get rid of that fear is I had to go and do a scuba diving course where you're right inside in the depths of the ocean. So I enrolled for the course, I went there. The first thing they do is they take you into a swimming pool and they make you very comfortable with the gear, the scuba gear. So my instructor took me to one end of the swimming pool. He taught me about the gear and what to do with it. Until then I was all okay because he was there. And then he took me out to sea. And I knew everything about the gear and I was okay with all that. And then he said, okay, now it's time. So we went in the middle of the ocean and he told me, okay, it's time to jump into the water. I looked at the water and I froze with fear. I said, this is it. I can't do this. Impossible. I'm going back. So he tried to persuade me, but I said, no, it's just not possible. So finally he said, okay, just relax. Just sit. So I sat on the edge of the boat and he was talking to me and he was obviously diverting my attention so that I would lose my fear. But he could make out that I had a lot of fear on my face. I was frightened. And out of the blue, suddenly he lifted my legs and he just lifted me and threw me back. I went backwards into the water, and as I went backwards into the water and went down, the water engulfed my face. All around me there was water. The first thing that came to my mind was intense fear. But I was there alone, all by myself. Nobody was with me. So I tried to calm my mind. I said, okay, it's fine. There's no point in being afraid. And gradually, I deflated my suit and I went lower and lower down. And what I found down was so beautiful. It was like another world altogether over there. The fishes and the seaweeds and the plants, so much color, so much life. And with all that, my fear went forever. And I had conquered again once more my fear of water. I decided to go for a course to get rid of my fear of heights, so I went in for the mountaineering course. I went to Himalayan Mountaineering Institute, a very esteemed institute. And I trained myself a lot. I would I would walk 22 kilometers. I would carry a lot of weight on my back, wear big shoes, have a hypoxia mask, do all of that. And when I went for the course, all was okay, because in the beginning we were in Darjeeling for 1 week, just getting trained with different things, with the equipment, etc. And finally the climb started. Every day we would climb about 2,000 feet, so it was all fine. But one day while we were moving across the mountain, at this side there's a valley and this side was a mountain next to me, like a wall. And we all had to move from there. And as I looked down, I froze with fear. I looked away. I said no. And I started actually fumbling and staggering. And people who were ahead of me were going, and the people behind were like, go on, go on. So I walked a little bit. Again, when I would look down, I would again freeze with fear. But I decided that once again, that I had to confront what I was afraid of. So I kept looking down. And every time I did that, the fear became lesser and lesser as I could control my feelings of fear more and more. And finally, on the last day, there was also a rock climbing competition that was there, and I got the silver medal. So what I'm trying to say is that here, once again, it was trying to overcome another fear of mine. So my journey of the past few years has been a very good journey. Now I will also lastly end with how I got the Nari Shakti Award. I've never gone looking for awards, for recognition, for acknowledgement. The only wealth that we have in our house is the mementos from different academies and organizations. They are memories for us, for the work that we have done for the country. So one day, just before 8th of March, just 10 days before, I receive a call, and they tell me it's from the President's office, and they say that madam, you are supposed to come to Delhi, to Rashtrapati Bhavan. We will make all arrangements for you. You are to receive the Nari Shakti Award. And that came as a huge surprise. Receiving the Nari Shakti Award for me was obviously at the Rashtrapati Bhavan, going and receiving it from the Honorable President was a moment of, I felt humbled, and at the same time I felt good that I was acknowledged by the highest office in the country. It was a last minute decision made to give me the award. Usually it takes a lot of months in selection, procedures, etc. But I got to know from them that it was a last minute President's decision to have me take the award. So that made me feel even better and even more proud. That on different topics we've published many books. For these books, we did not take any grants, sponsorships or donations. It's been our own lives' earnings that we put into the book. This was again one of the ways in which we wanted to contribute to the country. And our books are now in almost all the academy libraries, name it, and they are there to inspire the younger generation. There is a yin-yang symbol. All of you have heard or seen the yin-yang symbol, which is the black and the white with a line in between. The white has a black dot and the black has a white dot. So the yin-yang symbol symbolifies the universe. It symbolifies two energies. The white part means daylight, brightness, masculinity, aggression. The black part symbolifies softness, adaptability, humility, night. Now both these energies are required to make that circle. What I'm trying to say is that if you look at a man, he is yang. There is aggression, there is drive, there is dominance, all of these qualities. If you look at a woman is soft, she's adaptable, she's understanding. But let me tell you one thing, both the energies are required for success. Not only one energy will get you to success. Combine both the energies, man, woman, and there's magic. Success happens immediately. So what I want to say is that like the white has a black dot, every man, along with aggression, dominance, should also have a softer side to him. And the black side, the feminine side, should also have a white in it, which means a little bit of determination, aggression should also be there in a woman. If a woman has all the qualities of femininity, plus add to that, I'm not saying change your basic nature, never change your basic nature, but add on some yang qualities, some persistence, some endurance, some aggression, some dominance, and that's when you just meet success. So even in any organization, I lecture a lot to corporate organizations, and that's what I'm always telling them, that both the energies are required. What men find difficult to do, women do very easily. So give women a chance. They have a lot in them, they have a lot of capabilities, but societal conditioning has convinced a woman that she is inferior. Of course, things are changing now, that's a different thing. But one needs to shake off that societal conditioning that we are inferior to men, because it's not like that at all. So all the women here, manifest yourself. Just unleash your capabilities, unleash your ideas, unleash your energy, and you're going to reach whatever goal you have set for yourself. Having said that, I end my speech. Jai Hind.